Okay, guys, so we are now on the part 4 in the discussion of your basic sentence patterns. Okay, so on the part 3, so I have already started with your first pattern, which is your IV. Now, let's go deeper. What is actually an intransitive verb? So we will go deeper in how to use intransitive verb correctly, because guys, if you check the net, you can actually search. If you go to Google and you have to type here list of intransitive verb, if you search on that, you can actually see a lot of examples there. However, guys, for example, in some cases of verb, like I have been using the verb fly, I have been using the verb go, and other verbs like this. Let's have another example of verbs. Let's say the verb is, let's say, become, let's say, walk, let's say, run. Usually, you can see some examples of this kind of verbs under intransitive verb. So again, if you try to find some list on the internet, you can see fly, go, become, walk, and run. These verbs are actually included in the list of what? Intransitive verb. Now, let's go deeper in studying intransitive verb. Okay. But before that, let's go back again to our clue, which is your what and who. Teacher, you said in your previous lectures that fly is what? An intransitive verb. As I've told you, you can actually see fly in list of intransitive verbs on the internet. But to tell you guys, we can go deeper, just like what I've said. Remember, fly can also be used as what? TV. What? Let's say go. Teacher, you said earlier that if we ask the question what and who, you told us that go cannot answer the question what and who. Yes, but in some cases, it can also be possible that is followed by what? Noun. What? And in that case, those are already your what? Those are already special cases. That is why it is quite confusing. That's why I told you it is so technical to actually teach the language, because there are some exemptions, there are some confusing rules regarding how we use your verbs. And one example of that is an intransitive verb. Okay, let's take a look at what? The verb fly. Let's say, for example, you can say, I fly the sky. If we do this, I fly what? The sky? Is it possible? In this sentence construction, we cannot use noun after the what? Verb fly. But teacher, how do I know if I can also use it as what? As transitive? Then that's the time, guys, that you have to check the meaning of your verbs. Because if you check the meaning of the verb fly, guys, fly has another meaning. And in that case, it can be used as what? Transitive. Like, for example, you can say, I fly the kite. So in this case, fly here is what? Used as transitive verb, because it is followed by what? It's followed by noun. So when I say I fly the kite, the little boy flew the kite. In this case, fly here is used as what? Transitive verb. Again, if you see the list, fly is actually included in intransitive verbs. But if you check the meaning of verbs, fly has another special meaning. When we say I fly the kite, then this is what? It's incorrect. That is how technical studying grammar is. Another example, guys. Go. Okay. This is another verb again that we usually see on the net. It falls under what? Intransitive verb. Let's say, for example, here. He goes, or you can use other tense of verb. He went. Where? Outside. So outside is an adverb of place. So in this case, guys, the use of the verb here, it is used as what? As an intransitive verb. So in this case, teacher, you said a while back that go can also be used as what? Transitive. Yes, and that is in a form of special case in which you can use your go plus ing. Checking it again on Google, when you talk about go plus ing, it says there that ing is what? It is a G1. Yes. And in this case, if we use the verb go plus ing, technically the meaning of this is go plus ing pattern always talks about to describe. Okay? This one is always to describe activities or your leisure activities. So again, when we use your go plus ing here is a G1. But teacher, is ing here a noun? Yes, because when you talk of G1, G1 is always used, it is always used as a noun, or it functions as what? It functions as a noun. And teacher, you said that these are activities. So what are examples of this? I go shopping. So shopping, I go what? Biking. I go hiking. I go dancing. I go singing. I go kayaking. I go parachuting. I go diving. I go swimming. Whenever we use the verb go here, plus what? Your ing. Your ing here is actually what? It is a G1. So in this case, we can say that go here is a transitive verb. It is because the form of ing here is what? It's a G1. Again, this is a special case in using the verb go plus ing. But compared it to this example, if we just used a simple form of noun, like say, he goes market, as like what I told you in my previous video, then that is incorrect. He goes to school, then that is incorrect. So in the case of go, if we only used a simple form of noun, then we cannot do that in a sentence construction. But if we use a special case, a substantive of noun, which is your G1, we have a special pattern, go ing. And go ing, it always indicates an activity that people or that you usually do. Hiking, diving, shopping, parachuting, biking, boating, mountain climbing, like that. So, is this clear, guys? Yes. So that's why in this case, he goes, we use here your what? To. So he goes to the market. He goes to school every day. So goes in this case is what? Intransitive verb. Go in this case is what? Transitive verb in a specific pattern. These are already pattern. Okay, now, guys, you might be confused also because verb ing is a G1. If you look at it, ing here is in a form of a participle form of a verb, something like that. So don't be confused. I go shopping, I go hiking, go here is what? Transitive verb. But if we use this kind of sentence pattern, for example, you can say, I am going to bike. Going here, teacher, is already, yes, it is a main verb here, and this is already the continuous tense of the verb. So, teacher, I'm going to bike. This is already a different construction. That is already your be going to plus verb. That is already a form of your present continuous. Your be going to, it's a different already. So, hiking here, is what? Adjuvant. I'm going to bike. This is already a different construction. It is already a form of a present continuous form. So look at that. It is quite very technical already. It is quite very different already in sentences like this. But when we do like this, I am going what? I am going hiking. So hiking here is what? It's a J1. How about teacher if I say I'm going to hike? This is already teacher in this case. So since this is a present continuous, going here is not a J1. It is actually your what? It is actually your auxiliary verb because bike here, that is already your what? Main verb. Hike here is actually the main verb of your what? Present continuous. So I'm going to bike, I'm going to move, I'm going to study, I'm going to learn, I'm going to move, something like that. That is the continuous tense of the verb, and bike, hike here is the main verb. But I'm going hiking. Hiking here is, we could say, in the form of a what? Juan. We just use the continuous tense of your what? Go. So, is it confusing? But then again, guys, we have also a form of I am going hiking. It could also be mistaken also as what? As a present continuous. Yes. But if that's the case, if we use your ing, I'm going what? Ing. In this case, it is also in the form of what? Present continuous if the meaning is what? That is already your decided plan. If your plan has been fixed and has been decided prior to what? Speaking. So it can also be what? A main verb. So it depends now on the context. It depends now on the what? Situations how we use the form of go in this kind of what? Sentences. So again, guys, intransitive verb, just like what the earlier examples that I gave, they can also be as what? Transitive verb. That is why when you check the list of verbs that you can see on the net, if you could go over and check the meaning of each verb, you can say there, you can check out that fly is not only intransitive. It can also be what? Transitive verb, and it has a different meaning. Okay, guys, another one is like this. So I'll just try to erase the board first since it's too small. Let's still continue with go. Okay, now let's have more difficult explanation in case of go. Go can be what? Transitive if we use want, right? Activity. Go can be intransitive if because it is not followed by just a simple noun. Okay. But to tell you, go can also be what? Linking verb. What? So teacher, how come the verb go is also used as what? As a linking verb? For the SLVSC pattern, this is actually the 5 patterns that I will be discussing, but since we are now trying to identify, I'm trying to explain that a verb could have different functions. It could be a transitive verb, it could be an intransitive verb, it could be a linking verb. For example, in case of this example verb, which is go, it can be a linking verb. Teacher, if it's a transitive verb, I can use noun in the form of ing, yes. If it's go, I cannot use noun or pronoun, but I can use in the form of adverb. Yes, it's correct. But how about linking verb? Okay, I can now give you an advanced idea how to use linking verb. Always remember, guys, that a linking verb is followed by what? A noun, a pronoun, and of course, your what? Adjective. So in this case, if we use what? Go in a sentence, and teacher, how do I use that as a linking verb? I'm a bit confused. I think I'm getting more confused already. So, can you give an example? For example, you can say, it goes wrong. The plan usually goes wrong. You can say, the idea went wrong. So, teacher, go here, is it a transitive verb? No, because it's not followed by a noun. The verb goes here, is it an intransitive verb? No, because we don't use an adverb. But this is a linking verb. It is because it is followed by what? An adjective. So in this case, the use of the verb go in the present, in the singular form goes, it is a linking verb because it is followed by what? An adjective. So it goes wrong. The idea went wrong. So SLV, then in this case, goes in this sentence construction is used as what? As a linking verb. So we will go deeper later on how to construct sentences using the SLVSC, but just to give you a overview on how we can identify a function of a specific verb. Because again, as I told you, I repeat, it is quite confusing that, teacher, I saw on the net that when I check the list of intransitive verbs, I see the verb go, I see the verb run, I see the verb walk. But when I check some sentences, I have seen some sentences that walk can be plus noun also. Run can be plus noun also. So, how do I know that? Again, guys, check the meaning of each verb for you to actually know whether a verb that is included in a specific list as an intransitive verb can also be used as what? A transitive verb. Let's go back with walk. For example, you can say, let's have this example. I walk the road. Is it possible? Can you walk the road? Of course not. Or you can say, I run, okay, I run the highway. Okay, cannot be. So in this case, I run, let's say, in the highway. I walk on the road. So in this sentence construction, run or walk is an intransitive verb because technically most of the time we use walk and run as what? An intransitive verb. However, but teacher, how about this example? I run the business. So when we say I run the business, then that is already a different meaning of run. It means you manage. But in this case, is the meaning of run here manage? Of course not. So it goes back to the meaning. So there is, if you check the word run, you can see a lot of definitions on the net. And when you see that run is the same with manage, like I run the office, I manage the office, then run there is what? A transitive verb. The same thing with walk. I walk the road. We cannot do that. But when we say I walk the dog, then in this example, walk is used as what? As a transitive verb. Why? As I told you, Transitive verb answers to question what and who. So in this case, dog here is what? A direct object. Again, direct object can be further explained on our next pattern, but this video, guys, just let you know that do not be confused, because again, I repeat, if you check the list of intransitive verbs, there are verbs that are given there like this example: run, walk, fly, go, run. They fall under IV. But if you check the meaning of these verbs, there are other meanings, and with that, they can be transitive one, transitive verb. Now the question is, teacher, this is quite confusing. Yes, but the next question could be, teacher, are there also verbs that they are only used as an intransitive verb? Definitely, we do have. They can only be used as intransitive only. And what are the example of that? Smile, arrive, die, laughed, yell, agree, something like that. So this specific example of verbs, they are only used as intransitive verb. But then again, I will repeat, for some verbs that fall under intransitive verb that are usually seen on the net, if you check the other meanings, they can be transitive also. So this is how technical, this is how confusing grammar is. Check the meaning of the verb. And this is a good example, teacher, because later on, students, there are a lot of verbs like this. It can be transitive, it can be intransitive, it can be linking verb. But later on, when we finished all the topics, you can identify them. How? You always know the basic rule and the patterns. So again, this is how we differentiate intransitive verb and transitive verb. This is like a part 2 of the lecture regarding the basic explanation, the basic way how to identify intransitive and transitive. And this is just like a part 2 of the differentiation between intransitive and transitive. So if you do have questions, guys, feel free to put your comments down, or feel free to message me on my Facebook account. I also have my Facebook page. You just type my name, Christopher Tabili. Okay, so I'll see you again on the next video.